Yep, I'm going to be live here in just a second. I just had to copy all the shit over so it actually worked the way it's supposed to. So, just be a second. Almost done. For me, there is, because this is pressure. That's all right. That's fair enough. All right, so we're going to go ahead and switch this out. And we should be good, because it actually is live now. I just have to do the thing. So, here we go. Hey folks, welcome to the show. Welcome to Toy Grinds Live for the 11th of September 2023. Thank you for waiting. We had a major technical glitch right as we were about to go live. Mr. Home Arcade did arrive. We were ready to go, and then when I hit start stream, this has never ever happened. It just wouldn't go through. If I create a new stream, it would work, which some of you saw right away. So I just quickly transferred all the information over. We're going to delete the old link. None of the social media links are going to work. Fuck it. I don't give a fuck. Let's get on with it. So I don't have anything else going on this show except for Mr. Home Arcade. So and he's been waiting very patiently. Probably has had his liquor. So I'm going to go ahead and bring him on right now. So welcome to the show, Mr. Home Arcade. How you doing, sir?
Hey, what's up? How you doing today? I'm doing pretty good. I'm glad
I'm
to
doing
be here. I'm glad we got started.
you and me both, pal. So I want to start just to get the normal getting to know you chit chat out of the way so that people that may not be as familiar with your channel as I am get a feel for who you are. Um, Obviously, you have a home arcade. I've seen it, it's awesome. But your main focus of your channel is MOTU related stuff. You do these mock up commercials, you do reviews, you do a lot of different things, and your dioramas are probably among the best in the biz, as they say. Um, how did this start for you? How long ago did you just say, okay, I'm going to do a YouTube channel and I'm going to make this happen and really start taking it seriously?
Well, that's an easy question. We're going to go back a little bit. You know what I mean? I'm going to give you a brief history, but it might not be brief. But I used to have a couple other channels. I had one channel I started off with called Mr. T-Run. Okay? With that channel, I just posted F-13 content. You know what I mean? Me having matches, chopping people up as Jason. That's all I post. Cussing people out, chasing them down. You ever play that game? Friday the
Qu-
13th on PS4.
I played it on multiple platforms, and I used to actually give him a voice when I was playing as well. Um, and the voice would vary depending upon who I was playing with. Sometimes you sound like this, like dumb mama's boy. Sometimes he was Mike Tyson. Ah, this is ludicrous. Other times he'd have a different voice. You never know. But yes, I played it a lot. It's great stuff. Lots of
All
fun
right,
stuff to do with that.
so you definitely understand how it feels from leveling up, trying to get to 150, playing matches, and then changing it up, doing a voice. You know what I mean? Coming to
Exactly.
people talking shit. You know what I'm saying? So I did
Yeah.
that for a long time. I leveled up, got my platinum trophy. You know what I'm saying? Did all my matches. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And then I ended up changing my focus to home arcade stuff. So I ended up starting a check second channel called CT Jason. You know
Okay.
what I mean? We're fantastic toy adventures. He knows that channel. I did that. I was still doing F-13 stuff, but then I started to transition to home arcade stuff. You know what I mean? Because that game is old and it's dying. You know what I mean? I had to do something different. So I started with the home arcade stuff, did that shit for about a year. And towards the end of that year, I wanted to, I made it a different channel. It was just supposed to be a parody. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Which was Mr. Home Arcade. You know what I mean? Because if you look at my CT Jason channel, it has like the same type of mask. It's just a Jason mask. But with Mr. Home Arcade, I put that Mr. America mask on top of it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just show that it's still me, but it's not. You know what I mean? So I started that channel. And I was gonna post about home arcade stuff, but I just don't really give a shit about it. You know what I mean? So I ended up switching up to the MOTU stuff and started to take the hobby a little bit more serious, and shit just popped off like that. And I enjoy it.
That's that is briefer than it could have been. That's awesome, man. Because that's one of the things I love about the way you do things. That it's very authentic to you, and but you also have multiple interests. Like obviously, we both collect toys. We're both huge Motu guys. I also have a whole retro gaming setup in the next room, and I collect music and shit. So and I also love the whole parody thing, the skit aspect of stuff. Like the first when I started doing toys as content, like the first 6 months or something, once I started getting Motu Origin stuff, I would post pictures on Instagram, and then I was just write a caption to it, like a one frame comic from back when we were kids. It would just be this conversation that it could have easily been a video, but I just wasn't there yet because I didn't have display space. Now I do. I actually have to get all this shit out of the boxes and actually on a diorama. I'm being lazy because I'm fat and old. But when I do that, I am going to start doing similar stuff. Granted, I will not steal your shtick. I promise. I promise. And Mr. Home Arcade, unfortunately, has left the building. He will be back in just a moment, I am sure. Um, Probably didn't like the idea that I was being funny as well. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, guys. He's going to come back on the call soon, I'm sure. He probably will realize what happened. Um, I apologize. So while I am waiting for. Oh, there he is. Never mind. He's back. He is back. All right. He is reconnected. Can you hear me all right, sir? Mr. Home Arcade, I cannot hear you
Oh,
if you can.
everything. Am I here?
Yes, yes, yes.
So sorry about that. I was still able to hear the stream, and you know what I mean. I accidentally hit the button. Then I fixed it though.
I mean, look, if we learned anything from the 80s, just never hit the button. Stop hitting shit, right? Just quit
No,
it.
but Lee, finish what last thing I heard you were talking about. You were talking about you was about to start doing some dioramas.
Yes, yeah. I need to get some dioramas taken care of because all this stuff behind me is just get it on the shelf and out of my face. I got loose figures in the closet and I got to actually get it all set up. But when I do, I am going to be doing some updates to some old Instagram stuff that I had done that was. I kind of had made characters without meaning to make characters. Like Hordak was a certain way, and I had a small Godzilla that would always talk shit to him and all this stuff. So that was always in the back of my head, 2.5 years ago. Then I come across your channel thanks to Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures. I call him Bill Wifta for short. Um, and I was like, this is the guy. Like, this is the kind of shit I've been wanting to see for a long ass time. And the fact that it's Motu focused made it all the better. You clearly, like, really dig on Motu. There's no question about that. and you've certainly doubled down on Origins, but you have classics, you have some Masterverse stuff. So obviously you've been collecting this stuff for a while. What kind of made you decide when you were doing this to use the Origins line as the focus of those videos? Was there a specific reason for that, or was it just you kind of fell into it?
All right, well, let me break it. Let me go back a little bit further, and I'll start why I picked MOTU in general. So I started collecting, you know what I mean? When it came out 2018, I would get them here and there from Walmart, and I just start adding them up and put them in stores. I never opened the bitches up, and I didn't want to. I didn't want to display them. I didn't care. I just wanted to get them. So let's just say maybe like a year and a half ago, right when I was about to make the other channel, I started, you know what I'm saying, just get into the hobby a little bit more, watching more toy channels, stuff like that. And in my old arcade setup on my CT Jason channel, I did plenty of arcade tours. I had a little, you know what I'm saying, toy section, but nothing at all. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing. So I ended up doubling down once I moved. And then, especially doing the transition from home arcades to action figures in the MOTU, the reason I picked them to do them commercials is because everybody remembers them commercials growing up as a kid, watching them. You know, I always like to do parodies and stuff like on my previous channel. I made up a whole bunch of different TV shows and all other types of stuff. I did a lot of shit over there. You know what I mean? That's how I got. That's why, you know, kind of have an idea on what I'm doing when I edit these videos. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't my first rodeo.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I started doing that, but I just started getting a little bit better and a little bit better as the commercials go on. Because I get used to it. It's fun. I enjoy doing it. And how I come up with it, like, if I'm thinking to myself and that shit makes me laugh to myself, then it's worth making the video.
Exactly.
And that's how I do it.
And
you know what I mean? It's crazy.
It works. I can't tell you how many times I'll sit back with a glass of whiskey and just watch your stuff and just howl like a hyena, man. And my lady, I was like, you got to watch this guy. So we sat down so I put you on the big 65-inch 4K screen and blasting through a 7.1 surround system at like 10 o'clock at night. Way louder. I was hoping the neighbors could hear because I wanted them to. And we just started with the first commercial and just went through them. I put them in a special playlist so I could just get them going, right? And we were watching them, and she's laughing, and I'm laughing. So, although she is learning about the toys as we go, she's not hardcore into it the way any of us are, obviously. But she's getting the jokes too. Like, she's not getting the in jokes of like the whole auto sales. I had to tell her like, these are all custom figures. These are custom characters. That's a real character. That was and she was laughing like a motherfucker too. And that's when you know, okay, it isn't just me. This guy is doing something really special. And you've been growing very steadily since this started. I think that you've really hit a niche and you keep doing it. Like a lot of people, when they start to grow, they try to, I don't know, not water down content or anything, but they'll try to change it up to try and get even more. They get greedy. You're not doing that. You say, this is what I want to do. You keep doing it, and it's paying off for you, which is just fucking wonderful. It's a refreshing thing to see because even though this isn't your first channel, when anyone who's been doing it a while sees some success, sometimes they lose what made them special in the first place, and you're not doing that. That's awesome, and I just wanted to pay you that compliment, but also ask you, was that intentional, or is it something that you have to work at?
What do you mean? What do you mean intentional?
Meaning, did you sit up and say, I'm not, no matter how big the channel gets, I'm not changing what I'm doing?
Oh, okay, all right. Let me, I got an answer for that. But first, let me say, brother, all the stuff you're saying, it's shocking to me because I didn't think nobody would even watch the shit that I put. You know what I mean? Like, I started all this stuff. I keep going and keep doing it because I think it's funny. I make these videos for me. You know what I mean? If other people like them, that's a bonus. You know what I mean? I just like watching something different. You know what I mean? I don't see shit like this. You know what I mean? And I like to create stuff. As you can see, if I'm not making a video, I'm doing action figures, I'm create displays, whatever. I gotta express myself somehow. And this is the safest, easiest way I can do it. You know what I mean? This ain't a bad hobby. You know what I mean? I could be
No.
doing a lot worse. There's people that be going to the bars, doing whatever. You know what I'm saying? This is a safe hobby. I ain't hurt nobody. Sure, I cuss a lot. But like you said, I'm not trying to change it up for nobody. You know what I mean? If you don't want to hear the cussing, don't watch. I find it funny, and gradually other people see it, and they find the shit funny too. And I'm very appreciative. You know what I mean? I love doing giveaways. I love giving away free shit. You only live once. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's half the reason why I opened all my shit. I got tired of it being in boxes.
Oh
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Being on display like that. Yeah, you can enjoy it, but you can't fully enjoy it. I wanted to create eye candy. You know what I mean? When I look at it, it's just like going to the art museum and looking at art. You know what I mean? That's how I try to
Mm-hmm.
tell my kids. When I did it, I told them, don't touch it. It's just like the art museum. You look, you don't touch. Only I can touch. You know what I mean? But I'm not that, cruel, but I let them look at it. And they would touch it. But regardless, it's a fun hobby and I love it. And I'm going to keep going and doing it the way I've been doing it. I ain't never going to stop. I mean, I'm trying to incorporate more reviews and stuff like that. Gives people some options. I'm trying to expand my MOTU stories, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to just have fun with it. That's it.
And one of the things I think is really cool is that you've got the longer story videos that you do, but then the commercials are also like mini episodes of that. So you're telling this ongoing story that it's serialized. It's like a TV show, which is fucking great, man. And today I got around to watching the newest video, and I won't spoil a specific moment that happened. But when that happened, I spit water. I had to wipe off my desk and everything, and I was laughing. Oh,
It's
it
all right.
was
Tell me about it. I want to talk about it. What part did
what?
you like?
Oh,
What part was it?
the whole thing, obviously, like first of all, the interplay between Merman and Triclops as a duo, because you got Triclops like, I just want to do my fucking job, and Merman's like, I don't know if we should do this or that. Well, we should just calm down. Everyone just calm down, And He-Man's like, what the fuck? And he comes out and he's like yelling, screaming, doing his thing. I can't do your voice to save my life. I've tried. I can't do it. But then the first shark comes out, and I'm like, yeah, fuck you, He-Man. You deserve this shit. Then the second shark comes out, and I'm like, ha ha! Oh, you're talking all that shit. You barely stumbled out of the castle, and you fucked up, because I've had a car repossessed. I know what he feels like, But
Nobody
some,
likes that shit.
oh, man. That second shark, though, I was like, because I just watched Jaws for like the billionth time last week, so I was like, that's totally a Jaws moment. We're just, I think you're going to need a bigger He-Man. That was just fucking perfect, man. And every time I watch them, I find something new. I rewatch them. Like, anytime I'm having, like, a moment, because I work from home, and if I'm having a really shitty day for whatever reason, or I'm because I make content for my job as well. I work for a company and I make content. And if I'm hitting like a block or something, I just need to loosen my head. I'll watch one of your videos, Hand to Godzilla, and it relaxes me. It makes me laugh, and I can get back to work. So it was a
I
real.
appreciate that.
And I realize that you don't do a ton of social media, if at all. You very much value your privacy, which I respect. But people do watch your videos, obviously. Like the numbers speak for themselves. And just to have been able to find the email, to email you, and then immediately say, yeah, I'll come on your show, that was very gratifying. I've had a lot of great people on this show, but it's. I think that more people need to watch what you're doing. It'll make their day better. It'll take them out of all the bullshit that's in their head, and remind them why the fuck we do this, right? When I turn around and I look at anything that's in a package, I wince, because I should just take a week off of work and just get this done. Because I had this collection in one room and a little bit of storage for over 2 years. And then in April we moved in here, and then it took me another 2 months just to get the damn shelves up. Then you put any packaged toys you can, and yeah, that looks nice. But as I'm putting loose figures up, as I either receive them or I get to them in a bin, I'm like, oh, that's where it's at, dude. Like, having the figures out. So I'm jealous of the fact that you just had your toys out and you could play with them all. So I'm working to get to that. So I'm living vicariously through you because I cannot wait to cut all this shit open. It just when
What
fat
you waiting on?
um I said I'm fat, old, and lazy. Didn't you hear me when I said
Oh,
that before?
I get that's a weak excuse. You can do that
True.
shit tonight. You start taking that shit out, clear that shelf. You know what I'm saying? Put some plywood on there, hook it up. It's easy.
There you
I
go.
promise you that. I did 2 tutorial videos on how to
I,
do that
I,
shit.
I saw it, and I saw him, and it really inspired me because, like, I remember when I first started getting the origin stuff. I was talking to some buddies about, hey, I think I'm going to go to a quarry and get some rocks and get some stone pieces and get some stuff that was meant for aquariums and go over here and do this. And then to see someone else actually do that in the way that I was thinking, I'm like, well, that shit fucking works. Great. And I watched that tutorial twice. And I love the way that you were explaining how you go about picking a stone from the quarry. You're not just you could have been like, "Hey, I went to the quarry and I got these rocks. It's great." You actually explained why you picked the ones you did. So
Well,
many
that
people.
shit's important. It's just very
It
important to
is
pick the right stones for the job. You can't have some fucking just messed up, you know what I'm saying, rocks rolling off the thing. It's got to sit right. Everything's got a place. It's got to look right. So you get it.
exactly. It's the same way that I walk myself through when I'm buying booze. What am I trying to accomplish here? What's going to do the job? You buy the stuff and you drink it and it's fine. But if you just grab any old thing off the shelf, you'll be throwing up in an hour. You got to be careful. You got to plan this shit. You know.
You
So,
ain't lying, brother. You ain't lying. Let me tell you
yeah,
something real quick about that. That last video I did, I actually filmed that for episode 2 of Drunk He-Man, and I did that back in March. I
yeah,
filmed that, and I was just sitting on it for this whole time because doing that episode when I did that back in December to do that half-an-hour episode, that shit took me hours on hours on hours. You know what I mean? It took me a while.
hmm,
And I just haven't found the motivation to be able to do that. So I've been trying to finish the story that I wanted to do through the commercials. You know what I
right,
mean? So I just started that. That was the one part of the what is this? The Attorney of Toe, episode 3. That's going to continue that story because he's going to go down there to Attorney of Audemars. He wants you to say he's going to kill somebody. He wants blood. You know what I mean?
awesome.
That's what it's all about. So I cannot wait to finish that story. I got a couple special guests going to make an appearance. Mega J Retro, he's going to be a character. I got Masters of the Mini Comics, he's going to be a character. And then Mad Hatter, he's going to be Flipper. You know what I mean? He's going to make a special appearance. It's going to be great. I can't wait to do it.
Terrence St. John has a comment from Chad. He says that you'd better tell me to get on the Flipboard train.
Shit, that Kickstarter probably gonna be starting pretty soon. You know what I mean? The pre Kickstarter, and then it's just about to pop off. Mad Hatter, Ace, you know what I'm saying? All the Toy Stalker. Who was that? There's a couple people, you know what I'm saying, in that group chat. They all working together to make Flipboard a reality, and I'm excited for it. Renders
that
FX. That's the other
that's
person.
awesome. That's awesome, dude. And so many irons in the fire. So I want to get into just some general. Let's just talk MOTU for fun because we can. But before I do that, is there anything that's coming up that you want to particularly like point people to, like Flipor or something like that?
Anything coming? I don't know. I mean, not really. There's nothing I can think of. I mean, yeah, that's going on. But what do you mean, like coming up, like for me wise, or for
In
what?
general, like basically anything you want to put like pimp before we get into a deeper discussion.
Oh, I get it. I get it. Now I can pimp some stuff at the end. Close it out with some pimping.
All right. I was
I
gonna
don't
do
got
book
nothing
it.
right now
I
off
was
the
gonna. I
top of
was
the
gonna.
head.
I was gonna do bookends, but fuck you. We'll get into the fucking conversation then.
No, it's all right. Go ahead. I mean, I don't have really nothing to shout out. I'm doing the attorney of Toa. Oh my goodness, I'm working on this massive 90 character video, custom figure video. That's what I was doing when you called me. That's how I kind of lost track of time. You know what I mean? I thought I'd be able to bang it out today, but it's a lot of editing in that video. I mean, just adding all the names and everything. There's 90 goddamn characters. I gotta go through and I go through each one and I say how I made them. You know what I mean? Just trying to just help people out. Because making customs, let me tell you something real quick. When we start talking about MOTU, making customs is so much fun. Especially with MOTU, because you got so many options. You know what I'm saying? So much possibilities. And at one point in time, a couple months back, I was just in the zone. I would have rather made me some action figures than made a video. You know what I mean? It kind of
Yeah.
hooked my attention. I can't be creative with everything. I gotta pick one thing and just stick at that. So at that point in time, I was just mainly doing them action figures. I did a whole bunch until I couldn't think of no more to do. So it was back to the videos. And that's where I'm at now. So I'm ready.
That's awesome, man. And I've seen some of the customs that you've done. They blow me away. The one question I'll ask about that before we get into some general talk, because now you got me intrigued. The heads that you use, I know some of them come from other customizers, some of them come from actual figures. So in the case of the latter, do you like some of them might be 3D printed? Like, do you just buy the head if it's like, let's say it's a NECA RoboCop head, for example? Do you just go on eBay
Oh,
and buy the head, or like,
nope. I got a whole body. I mean, let me tell you, I got a whole box of bodies from action figures, just like RoboCop, just like you said. I ordered two different RoboCops off eBay. Them bitches can be expensive. I had to get the right one with the right head, and I just take the head, fuck the body. You know what I mean? I don't got no use for it. Maybe some accessories, you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't give a shit. I bought somebody came to me, they were like, how could you do that to that figure? You know what I mean? Like it was some Scorpion and Sub-Zero, some rare ass figure. I don't give a fuck. I took the heads off the garments off their bodies, and I made me some figures. And I keep doing it. I just love the MOTU form. You know what I mean? It's just a nice look to it. The posability is perfect, and there's so many options with the parts, with the Masters of the WWE and the MOTU and the Superstars line. It's perfect. I got a whole Mattel Creation shop in my one room in the back. You know what I mean? Full of body parts. I don't show it too much. I gotta organize a little bit. I got a little messy from building these last couple figures, but yeah,
well,
man,
I mean,
it's fun.
in your main MOTU room, that got messy for a while you were. I just saw all the stuff on the floor, and I'm like, because I was worried you were gonna step on shit, and you do step on shit, whatever. Because the reason I asked about the heads is because like that's looked exactly like what you were doing. I was
Oh, I'm so sorry. I got sidetracked. So yeah, with the heads, there was something else I wanted to add in there. It's good to buy action figures, but yeah, I'll go on eBay and buy Mezco heads. I love the Mezco. Love them heads. Oh my God. And then one of the heads. It's got to be the right fit. Custom heads. I just came from a retro con. Over the weekend, I bought them last four figures I made, the demon and shit. Those were all custom heads that I bought from there. Love that shit. Love customs.
yeah. By the end of the year, my plan is to have a 3D printer, and one of the things I think I want to do, like, because basically, if I'm going to get into customs, that I want to do it that way. Basically, I want to like kind of just do a cut where because people will do like Marvel Legends or G.I. Joe Classified style heads for these different characters as well. Some people will do the MOTU stuff. You can download the STL file or something. Um,
But then you got
yeah,
to paint it. Do you want to paint that shit? I don't want to paint no head. I'll buy a head. I would love to make them, but I don't like painting. That you got
I,
to be real
I don't
detailed.
I don't like painting either, but I got a girl that paints, so I can be like,
I
paint this
guess
shit.
shit if that works. If she gets it done right, it
That's true.
works.
So I could talk about this shit for hours. Um, so I wanted to get your opinion on where Origins is going, because as you probably know, all the vintage style stuff is going to go to Mattel Creations starting later this year or early next year, and then the retail stuff is going to be all the cartoon classics. What was your reaction to that news? Because I've seen it vary.
Well, I was a little upset. You know, I love hunting. I love going on the toy hunt, being able to go in the toy store. Because let me tell you something real quick. Anytime I gotta go to Walmart, Target, all my life, I always take a stroll down the toy section. I don't give a shit how old I am. Sometimes it feels a little weird, you know what I mean? When you actually see kids in the toy aisle, you know what I mean? But they don't care about this shit. I'll go down there and see if I, you know what I'm saying, see some deals, see if they got some new figures and go about my business. I just like looking at seeing how toys have grown over the years. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Everything, how it evolves and all that stuff. It's a beautiful thing. But well, things that are going to online, that's just the wave of the future. I've gotten so used to just buying shit on eBay,
Hmm.
BBTS, Entertainment Earth. I mean, if that's the way they're going to take it, I just want them to keep on with it. You know what I mean? I'm into this hobby. I want to see it keep going. And to be honest, I think it's going to go all the way to 2026 and beyond. Because
Easily.
if they're doing that attorney of choice shit, that shit's gonna take some years. We don't even got what the fuck the last one. We don't got that shit yet. When
Yeah,
we gonna get
Attorney
it
is not
next
even out
year?
yet. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
supposed
we
to like spring.
spring. You know what I mean? So with this new set, we damn sure ain't gonna get that till 2026 or beyond that. Meaning they're still gonna have to bring out more figures to keep that one. You know what I mean? To
Yeah.
keep people bringing people in. So yeah, the line is strong. Even if it's online and they're gonna reboot it in the stores with the classic shit, I don't care. I'm gonna buy it all. I'm in it for the long haul.
You and I are on the same page with that, man. At first, I was like, "That's kind of a weird bait and switch, dude." But I think what's going to happen is that there's going to be a time when they start releasing those cartoon classics. You're going to have a whole new wave of collectors, because maybe a year ago someone's like, I see this Master of the Universe shit everywhere. I want to get into it, and then they can't find an OG He-Man anywhere because just like the original line back in the '80s when I was a kid, I remember it took me forever to get a goddamn Skeletor. I have a vivid memory of finally finding just a regular ass Skeletor, and it was like the best day ever. Now, as an adult or even for a kid, to not be able to necessarily find on the shelf, the vintage sculpt He-Man, a regular old fucking He-Man, I think would kind of stop people from doing it. So with this cartoon reboot, I think you're going to get people that maybe missed out on Origins the first time around, or thought they missed out on it, because they're not going to do the research. They're not going to go online and see that you can actually get all this shit still if you look, and it's not going to be a crazy amount of money. But you're also going to get people that have no interest in these Origins figures, but then seeing the cartoon come to life, that'll be the spark for them. And I think it's also going to, like, we're going to see, this is my prediction, we're going to see at least two playsets of the cartoon. I think we're going to see some form of the Eternos Palace in stores. It won't be as cool as the one you have, but it'll be something like that. And they'll probably do something with She-Ra in the store. And that would probably be, if I had to guess, it might be like what's the game of the goddamn, the jungle area that they hang on. I forget the fucking name of it. Something like that. Something small. And then on Creations, they might do the bigger shit, like they've already been teasing with like all the other choices. Like that's why I didn't choose any of the cartoon shit except for the attack track. Cause I'm like, no, 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 no. You're gonna have these figures coming out next year. You put some of this shit on the fucking shelf, man. Like I'll crowdfund the really out off the wall shit, but don't make me fucking crowdfund cartoon shit yet. Like cartoon shit's next year. That's next
No,
year.
I feel that's a waste to try to crowdfund one of the vehicles. We need more play sets. Hordak needs a home. The Snake Men need a home. That's what I picked.
Yeah, the reason I picked Attack Track over the Snake Men Castle is because I knew motherfuckers would be voting for the Snake Men Castle in droves. And I want one. I want one of them. I want fucking Fright Zone, and I do want the cartoon accurate fucking Doom Tower. I don't want it first. I want it next year. You know, the concept that they showed, it looked kind of like a shell. It didn't look like it did anything. And I think they
I
have
didn't
to.
like it. It looked stupid. You just
Yeah,
have his throne right there on the second floor. Can't nobody stand around it. I just didn't like it. But it's a
yeah,
place that I can't argue.
and I think that it's a good idea. They just need to flesh it out more, where it's not just, just like it looks like in the picture. Like, make it do fucking something, and something
It's just
I
like
want to.
Hordak's radio tower. That's what that
Yeah,
shit looks like to me.
yeah. It looks like he got into ham radio and just really just wouldn't stop. But one of the things like with playsets that I love the shell stuff. I've got a Crystal Castle back there, which I love. I've got to get some paint done on that, which of course dragging my feet. I've got a vintage Snake Mountain back there. I've got the Origin Snake Mountain still in the box. I pulled it out, looked at the artwork, almost puked. Like I was so happy, and I put it back. I haven't pulled it out yet. And I got a Gray Skull back there as well. Basically, when it comes time to do the MOTU shelves, it's going to be just one day of just everything's going to go at once. And I love the clamshell thing that they have going with all the playsets, but I really want to see more asymmetrical stuff like Fright Zone. I want to see things like a way you could make that Doom Tower really cool is if you had the tower and you did have it inside, but the top could rotate. I think we need more of that, where I don't have to choose, do I want to show the front or the back? I should be able to rotate a part and show half and half kind of a thing. I don't know if that makes any sense. I think they need to make it more modular in that way. I don't know.
I get what you're saying. I do. But on the same token, they just got to bring out more stuff. They've been slacking on the vehicles. I mean, we got some, but that's why I bought all the vintage vehicles because I just needed more. I wanted more options. And I ended up buying every single vintage vehicle there is. And Origins works damn near with 95% of them.
And you have a video to prove it.
Yes, sir. I went through each one as it came out by release and order.
I noticed that.
I got
really
it done.
like
I try to keep it organized. That's why the video I'm working on now, I added all the names. I'm at number 45. So I still got another 45 left to go.
That's a dedication I don't know if I'll ever know. I've done lots of long form videos in the past. I've done lots of crazy shit. But it's one thing to do a video of 90 fucking figures, right? That's one thing. But to do that at that level of detail on your fucking phone, do you have something against computers, dude? Like
No, let
what's
me tell
going
you
on?
something. In my personal life, my job keeps me moving around. So I like to be able to be mobile and just being on the phone. It's so easy. Like, let me tell you something. On my previous channel, I did whole hour-long episodes with everything. I made these shows. I'm trying to describe it. It was called The Mass Chasing. And I took 8 of the top Jason players from across the country, and I had them play incognito. And then I took 4 of the top league people that run their own leagues, and you know what I'm saying, in the Friday the 13th community who know all the players, you know what I mean? I had them as my judges, and I would do different challenges, and they would have to guess who the player is. You know what I mean? And I took footage from different shows like America's Got Talent and you know what I'm saying, shit like that. I would take the audience, parts, and I made the
Yeah.
judges different people. Like Simon Cowell was one judge, and I just put the audio over top of the video. That shit was hot, and I
Nice.
did all this shit on my phone. Definitely check it out. All that shit's on the CT Jason channel.
That
Hot shit.
I will have to check that out. That's pretty cool. And we do have a question from chat for you from Giraffe, longtime supporter of the channel. He
Oh,
asks,
I know that, man. I love that guy. What's he got?
He said, "Will there be a drunk He-Man Oktoberfest special with She-Ra?"
I've been trying. I want to bring in more female characters. I got a way to do the female voices. And you see, I did Queen Marlena. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
She made a brief appearance. Tila's going to make an appearance. I was thinking about doing a, what is that? Not an infomercial, like I was thinking about it today while I was at work. One of them instructional videos with Man at Arms, you know, like an introduction video for the Palace Guards. But just, you know what I'm
Nice.
saying? Four key things that they need to remember while they're being Palace Guards. It was going to have that info music, you know what I'm saying, in the background. And
Mm-hmm.
one
Ding,
of the
ding,
rules
ding,
is,
ding, ding,
yeah,
ding, 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 ding. Yeah, yeah.
and one of the rules is going to be don't fuck with He-Man. Whatever you do, don't cross that line. He will kill you. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm, and it's going to show
Yeah.
examples, you know what I mean? That's what I want to do. That's one idea. If you think it's funny, I'm going to do it.
Oh, it's
That's
fucking
just,
hilarious. Again, almost all of your ideas on paper are already funny, and I know you've probably heard this before, but you add your voice and delivery to that, and it's 10 times more hilarious. Cause you have a I don't give a fuck voice, and I love don't give a fuck voices, man. It's so good. Cause I've
oh
worked
my
so
goodness.
long, I've worked so long, doing I've done a lot of work on the phone. I've done a lot of podcasts and stuff. So I have that voice when I'm and sometimes it's hard for me to just bust out. And I had a friend come over that had only ever seen me stream or at like a convention, and he was like, "Dude, you speak totally differently when you're sitting on your couch versus when you're in your office." I'm like, "You're right." It's just when the light goes on, something happens for me, and it's difficult for me to loosen up. But behind the camera or out there, it's a totally thing. But you always are just on, and I really admire that.
Well, I appreciate that, man. I try to do what I can. You know what I mean? I just love just saying whatever's on the top of my mind. And then there's a little thing I want to explain with every single video that I do, all the commercials. Yeah, I don't give a shit what it is. I do the audio last. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll edit the commercial out, all that stuff, and then I just try to make sure I puzzle piece each dialogue in
Hmm.
with the space that I provided. And how I do it is like I'll put myself in the mind frame of that figure or that character. You know what I mean? How would Merman respond to He-Man cussing him the fuck out? You know what I mean? How would that conversation go about for me to get to point A to point B in this like 20 seconds that I have to get there? And then that's what I do, and then but it's easy. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I say easy, but I'm just used to it. Like yesterday, I did the audio for that video. It took me like 2.5 hours to do that audio. You know what I mean? Yes, it's a nice little bit of time, but I'm making up on the spot. You know what I mean? And luckily, the shit comes out funny. You know what I'm saying? I get lucky. That's
Well,
it.
but that's the thing. I think that if you scripted it too much, it would show. And so you obviously know the story you want to tell, and you're a good visual storyteller. So if you're doing the edit first and then creating the dialogue after, I think that's the best way to do that sort of thing. And I think most people that would try to do this would script most of it out. And I wasn't sure how much of it you scripted, but clearly I think visually. Here's the story I'm telling. It begins here, this happens, then this happens, then this happens. But the actual dialogue lasts. That makes a lot of sense. But also it's like I think most people wouldn't think of that. So that's awesome that you would say that. So if
Well,
folks at
well,
home,
that
if you're
shit's
watching,
hard. That shit
hmm?
ain't easy. Like the only reason I got used to doing that from years and years of playing Friday the 13th, cussing people out, just say, random shit, random interactions with people from around the world, dealing with that. That's what really got me comfortable with doing this. And like I tried to incorporate that into every channel that I did. You know what I mean? Like when I did the home arcade stuff, I I still do the same thing, but I put my spin on it, with the reviews and all that stuff. Same thing with this channel. Now that the Jason is now Junkie Man. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Same shit, it applies. It makes the videos entertaining to me. You know what I'm saying? I love watching my shit over again. I watch a video for 5, 10, 20 times. It doesn't matter. The shit's funny. That's why I do it. Like I said earlier, I find it funny. If other people find it funny, that's the plus. And I am shocked, brother. All the shit that you told me today, I am shocked. And then trust me, if I can, I will keep doing this as long as I can. You know what I'm saying? As long as you enjoy it, it's a
And
pleasure. I appreciate it.
and we really do. There's a lot of love in chat right now for you. You'll probably need to go back and watch the chat because it's people are like, for example, Keep On Collecting says that Mr. Home arcade sets are simple and bloody brilliant. Love the commercials, and the channel brings a smile to the dial, brother. Um,
I'm, I'm so glad to hear that, brother. Thank you for watching, and I'm going to definitely double down and try to put out more content. Sometimes, you know what I mean? Like I get caught up in work, shit like that. You know what I mean? That I got a life outside of all this, but trust me, when I'm not doing nothing, I love to mess with this stuff. I got videos that I've been sitting on for a long time. I got a whole 45-minute plus Vanity Fair, you know what I'm saying, He-Man thing. I posted like a little tiny snippet of it a couple months ago. I did all the audio for it already. I just got to cut it up, and that shit takes time. But I've been, you know what I'm saying, coming up with all these other ideas. I want to get to that. So after I do this last video coming up with action figures, I want to do that Attorney in Tow episode 3. I got a couple commercials set, but I want to finish that Vanity Fair. That shit's funny. I go over every single commercial, giving He-Man's point of view, you know what I'm saying, on everything. The
that's
shit's
awesome,
good.
dude. It is, and just having this conversation with you, like I'm getting a shitload of ideas of stuff I want to do when the time does come. And if I ever do anything with Star Wars, I want you to be my Chewbacca. That's all I gotta say.
I got you.
Yeah, because I think Chewbacca has been it doesn't get enough lines, man. And I love the idea of Chewbacca being like, "God damn it!" Like that would be the best. That would be so good. But
Well, yeah, I like to give people lines that don't say shit. Like on the Mr. Home Arcade channel, on the home page on the very bottom, I have my playlist from my previous channel where I did all the Jason movies, and I dubbed over this Jason because he don't talk. You know what I'm
right,
saying? So I hooked that shit up. You know what I mean? I gave my, and just like every other video, I said it was the first thing that was on top of my head. If I was Jason, that situation, fucking people up. Definitely check that out.
I am. I actually have been saving that. That's actually when October 1st hits. Like, well, we're in my household, we're big horror fans, and you know we have the big box set that Shout Factory put out, and we watch them all in a row and shit. I love Friday the 13th. I love Nightmare on Elm Street, Phantasm, Tremors, goddamn Critters. Name the series, we have it. Wishmaster, all that shit. And I promised myself once I realized you had that playlist, I said that's how I want to start my Halloween month off. I want to sit down, get ripped, and watch this stuff and laugh so hard until I can't breathe anymore. I'm
That shit
planning
is
on it.
good. Trust me, oh my goodness, that I like to watch that over again. You know what I'm saying? Every now and again. And that's the funny shit. I did them home arcade videos for over a year. And some of my most popular videos is that shit right there. And that shouldn't even take me that long to make. You know what I mean? I just lined up all the Jason scenes, and then while they're playing, I just said the first shit popped in my head, and that was it. Posted the video. Now, a couple of the last ones, I had to add some little bit of extra editing in it. You know what I mean? Some copyright people, they'll take that shit down in a second. You know what I'm saying? So I had to, you know what I'm saying, finagle a little bit. But trust me, that shit's good. I got a whole storyline in that with Jason and Tommy and all that stuff. That shit's funny.
You did all the movies?
All of them. Yep. From
Good,
part
because
2 all the way to Jason X.
okay, because the one I'm looking forward to the most is the end of Jason Takes Manhattan. I want to know what you're saying during that shit. With the fucking, with the whole like, ah!
I wish you could watch it right now. I wish you could put
Oh,
that one on right now on the stream, but they'll give
I
you a
can't.
copyright strike. Well, they might. They might. I don't know, but it's funny. That shit will
Uh,
be funny.
yeah,
I love that one. But Jason, man, oh my goodness. And that one, Jason was pissed. You know what I'm saying? Because throughout the whole thing, he gets stronger and stronger. You know what I'm saying? Like when he walks into what is that, to the diner when he's in
Yeah.
Manhattan, and they all look at him. He's like, "What bitch? What the fuck you want?" You know what I'm saying? Like something's like, yo, that shit is funny. Oh my god, I gotta watch that later on. I love that part.
Oh man, I
It's
can't wait.
yeah. I don't even want to screw it. I'm so mad you watch it. That shit's good.
So I mean, just that little bit, man. It should tell you how much joy you bring to people, and people in chat are just going nuts, man. And Chad, I'm sorry that I'm not keeping up with you the way I normally would, but this is just a gem of a conversation for me. So this is a very selfish moment for yours truly. Okay. Um, so just to wind things back around before we wrap things up, obviously Mattel has promised to do all the vintage stuff in MOTU. The brand manager guy at San Diego Comic Con when Pixel Dan was interviewing him said, "No, we're going to keep that promise." So I
They,
definitely
they,
feel
they
like
got
they're
a lot
gonna
of shit left. They got a lot of shit
exactly.
left, man. We need Cyclone. We need a whole bunch of figures. They got a whole bunch of vehicles. I know damn sure they ain't going to bring them back out. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? A whole bunch.
and I do think that that's part of why they're doing it on Mattel Creations, where they make it to order and they're not worrying about peg warming or whatever. They did announce Cyclone, and I saw the panel. They actually showed it, where he has the action feature, but you don't have to use it. You have to do a little switch on it to get it to go. Otherwise, it's just you have all the customizable pieces, and all the new figures that have action features. That's the way it works. You can use it, but you still have all the customizable shit that the previous action feature stuff. Like, I think they really missed the boat with Flying Fist and fucking Terror Claw Skeletor. Like, I want to pull those arms off. I want to put different arms on that body, and I can't do it. I think it's
Yeah,
bullshit.
I definitely agree. Same thing with Hordak, with the one Hordak with the,
The
what is that, the
buzzsaw.
blade?
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit. That makes me mad that being somebody who likes to customize and getting a Hordak figure, that's kind of hard. You know what I'm saying? To get a nice clean Hordak figure. Like a regular one, not that one, because with the buzzsaw, like you said, you can't
Right.
rip it off. You can't use the chest piece. You know what I mean? It's a
Nope.
waste.
Yeah, I ended
Customizing
up.
wise is waste.
I got lucky. A friend of mine sent me an OG, like a regular Origins Hordak, because I didn't think I was going to be able to get one. Then I was able to find one at retail, so I got a second one. And then I decided to get two web stores. And so I'm going to use a web store to customize a Hordak so it's a cartoon accurate one. So you get the blue and everything, and I've got some stuff to make the gauntlets and everything. And I just haven't sat down to do it. It'll just be click, 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 and then a couple things with a heat gun, and he's done. But um, I remember in 2021, the year he came out, like you can still get buzzsaw Hordaks for days, but a regular old just normal Hordak, like you can't get a hold of those for love nor money. Like you got to kill a motherfucker to get one now. It's crazy.
Now you just gotta go on eBay. You
And
gotta
pay
be
too much.
persistent. Not quite. You just gotta get the right lot. You know what I mean? Like I thought I was gonna do a whole video on it, on how it's just sniping like auctions and stuff like that,
Oh
going
yeah.
in there and grabbing everything up at the last second. Oh, that's that adrenaline rush. I love it. The shit is crazy. It gets addicting at times when you start going down the eBay rabbit hole of all the shit that they got on there.
Oh
I
yeah.
kind of did a little video on it, but nah, man, shit. I love the hunt. Getting all the figures, that was fun. When I wanted to buckle down and get the whole collection, because I had half of it. You know what I mean? The other half, I had to go to eBay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The real hard to find. What is that? The Leo
Wave two.
Faker. Not even. I'm talking about the rare ones, like the art of what is that? The Skeletor, the see-through Skeletor.
Oh,
What is that?
all
Art
the
of
old,
creation.
yeah. Oh, all the old Mattel creation stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that
Yeah,
stuff's.
that's 250, $300 a pop on eBay to get it. It's
Ugh.
rough. I mean, the only reason I didn't mind paying it, I came from that arcade community where some of them bitches are like 650 a pop just for them
I know.
arcades. You know what I mean? So
I
that's what got me
know.
into it. So when I came into this hobby, one of them arcades can buy me all the action figures I need. You know what I'm saying? That's why I love this hobby. It's easy to maintain, but it can get out of pocket. You know what I
It
mean?
really,
Especially if you
it
like
really can.
other brands and stuff like that. You like NECA, you like Mondo, Marvel Legends. Like I like all that shit too. I barely post about it. I got a whole bunch of shit still in boxes. I can't get to everything. You know what I
Do
mean?
you,
I focus on one thing, stick with that.
do you keep up on the Marvel Legends at all?
I do. I keep up on a couple of them, like the cartoon Spider-Man ones, where they have like the 2 packs. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like what was it? The Black Suit Spider-Man and Carnage. I got that. The
Yep.
what was that? The Green Goblin and the Aunt May. Got
Green
that.
Goblin, Green Goblin, and Mary Jane, and then Aunt May came with Doc Ock. I got those right there.
Doc Ock. Yeah, got that. I'm having to get 2 of those because I made that custom Doc Ock, and then I wanted another Marvel Legends one. You know what I mean? I had to use the pieces from that. A beautiful figure that's going to be in the video that I'm working on now.
So I'm gonna tempt you, all right? Because a lot of people are sleeping on this set, but it's one of my favorite sets. It's the West Coast Avengers set that just came out.
Oh, yes, I do want to get it. And then I do want to get that Ant-Man. You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
$200 Ant-Man. It looks
Oh, the
worth
Giant
it.
Man. My thing with the Giant Man, though, I think the price is fair for the figure, but the extra heads, I'm like, I don't want the fucking heads. Like, give me a regular sized Giant Man. Give me a Wasp. You know, like that would make more sense. Like, if you're gonna, I don't
I
understand why they wouldn't
agree.
do that. I think
I definitely agree with you.
like who the
I'm not
fuck wants
happy with
who wants a scroll faced fucking Giant Man? I don't. And it's like,
it.
like what do you?
I don't give a shit about it either. I mean, I
No.
take it because they offered it, but I'm not in no rush to buy it. Just like with the Thundercat layer, I definitely want it, and I better not forget to order it. Come what, Thursday, Sunday, whenever that shit stops. But I'm
Which
not in
one?
no rush. The Thundercats layer.
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm
that's
talking?
I think it's Thursday.
I better check shit. I got it in my phone.
Yeah, and
Let me see.
another little thing. I don't mean to take you off track, but I fell in love with this over the weekend because I was watching a couple of reviews on it. It was something like I wasn't in on it, but as soon as I saw it and I thought about the display possibilities, the new Ninja Turtles, they have their own sewer playset for that thing, but it scales with the old school figures really well, and it's only like $80. And I said, fuck it. I went ahead and did a pre-order on Amazon, so I'm gonna have a whole diorama of Ninja Turtles now. But that thing looks really cool, and even if you like took out the turtle specific aspects of it, you could do all kinds of fun shit for like videos like what you do, like the stuff that I want to do eventually. Where like what would happen if like just Skeletor fell into the sewer and he's like, "What the fuck is this?" You know,
Whoa,
you know,
whoa,
just
whoa, whoa. What diagram are you talking about for $80?
so the new Ninja Turtle movie that just came out, they have a whole toy line and they have a sewer playset.
I seen it. Matt Haddon did a review on it. I don't really like it. You know what I mean? They got too much shit going on with the action figures actually on the background. If they didn't have that on there, it would be worth it. But since they
Well,
got that on there, I don't like it.
well, here's the thing, man. What you do, and this is just my 2 cents. You already get stuff printed for your backdrop anyway, right? Why not take the cardstock, have them scan it, and then have them remove the parts you don't want? Just Photoshop that shit out, and if they won't do it, send me the file. I'll do it for you. Then have them reprint it and just stick it right on that original card back that they have, and then put that shit. Because I feel the same way about that artwork. I think it's stupid. But the background has its usage. I think it just needs to be trimmed. If you trim that shit up, it would be a lot more useful as a generic playset.
I guess that's more work that I'm willing to do on that playset. I see another option that I want to go with. If I want to sue her, you see what Ramen Toys is making?
Yeah.
Oh my, that shit is nice. Oh my God. So I'm in that chat with them guys and he's showing all the pictures and stuff like that. Oh my goodness, that shit, I can't wait. I cannot wait till that comes out. Pre-orders in, I think, September, shipping in February.
But isn't that going to be like $200?
Yeah, it's going to be $200 per section. You know what I mean? And in the picture that he had, the whole display, it had 2 different sections on there. And then it had like the top street section with the wall on the background and all that stuff. He just did a live stream about it today. The shit looks pretty good. I watched the Cliff Notes version on Matt Haddon's channel. The shit is good. It definitely look right. Might cost, you know what I'm saying, $600 to get, a nice size thing, but $600 for all that compared to $300 for what NECA was offering, that's a big difference. You know what I mean?
I
I see so
if
much value.
yeah,
I'm telling you.
if that's the comparison we're making, okay, sure. But and again, this is just me. Everyone does things their own way, right? To me, to spend $80 on that new Ninja Turtles playset and do about what $50 worth of customizing work on it, that would be enough for me and what I need. But I also recognize that what Ramen Toys is doing is pretty cool. I'm not paying $600 for that. Um, I didn't want to pay $600 for Eternia for fuck's sake. So I'm definitely not paying it for that. But I understand, like anyone who
I
has the
mean,
means and wants to buy
you
that
can
shit,
pay
like
$200. You know what I'm saying? It's what, 2 feet by with 16 inches by something else. It's pretty decent size just for the one. With 3 of them, that shit's gonna be what, 6 feet long for $600. A 6 foot long playset. That's pretty big.
that's fucking huge.
That's
All
what I'm
right,
saying. 600. That's worth it.
all right, you're selling me on it, dude. You're selling me on it. But to be continued. So I don't want to take up your whole night. I know that you've been working on stuff, and I really do appreciate you being here. We've been live for a little over right around an hour. So for those folks at home, like obviously we've already got the channel link is in the description. People are sharing videos back and forth and stuff like that in the chat right now. But what would you like to say to anyone who either is already watching your channel or has never seen what you do?
All right, that's a good question. If you've never seen my channel, I do cuss a lot. You know what I mean? Some people, they don't like it. It is what it is. Everybody cusses. You know what I mean? That's why, in the stories I try to keep, some people don't cuss that much, if not at all. Like Merman, he don't cuss. You know what I'm saying? Triclops, sometimes he's got a little dirty mouth, but he's not too bad. You know what I'm saying? I try to mix it up. I'm trying to do different things, but for the most part, I just like to create stuff that's fun to watch. You know what I'm saying? And just like I said, if I enjoy it and other people enjoy it, that's a plus. And I appreciate every single person that watches something on the channel that they don't got to. You know what I mean? But they do, and I'm gonna keep it up. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep on pushing out more content. Now that I know, well, people always say they enjoy it, but hearing, having a conversation with you today and you explaining that the shit, you know what I'm saying, it puts a smile on your face when you're having a bad day. That makes me feel like I'm doing the right thing. Makes me want to keep going. So I appreciate you and everybody watching.
Perfect. Last question, because it's in the title. When it's time for Mr. Home Arcade to unwind, what's your favorite kind of booze?
Oh God, that's a good question now. To be honest, I'm not really that much of a drinker.
I
I
knew it!
like getting down like Mothman. You know what I'm saying?
I had a feeling. I had a feeling. You heard it here
I was
first,
getting,
folks.
I was getting down during this conversation. You know what I mean? Hey, sometimes I gotta mute it, cough a little bit. It's what it is. Everybody's got their twist. Now I got access to a whole bunch of liquor. You know what I'm saying? I might drink on occasion. If I was to drink some when I'm out, I get a nice little mixed drink. Sometimes I got a little thing of butter shots. You ever had butter shots?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It tastes good. I got a little canteen. Just take a little swig real quick. Get the flavor in your mouth. It tastes good. But other
Exactly.
than that, I'm not a big drinker. This shit hurts. I'm getting old. I shouldn't even be smoking. You know what I'm saying? It's bad for the voice, but it is what it is. You only live once.
It's true. That's why I switched from the smoke to this, and I'm not using nicotine any less than certainly other things. I prefer it like this because, like this, I can't do smoke. I can't do smoke at all anymore. I got to do it in other forms. I just can't do it. And I've cut back on the booze a lot lately, and because like you, I'm getting older. It is rough, and when you do anything where you use your voice, as a hobby or for a living, like you got to protect that shit because what happens when you have to do a funny joke but you can't say anything. Doesn't work. It just doesn't work anymore. So, which
This
is
is
horrible.
crazy. I got to depend on technology. You know what I'm saying? But you can do some crazy shit nowadays. That's how I can do all the female voices. You know what I'm saying? I got this app, and it does female. It does whatever voice you want. It can replicate any voice in the world. That shit is amazing.
Wait, so all the female voices are you?
No, all the female voices is a robot. Like it's the app. You
I
know what I'm
got you.
saying? Like I'll get like some random woman voice, put it on the app, and then it'll replicate her voice, and I can say whatever the hell I want.
Mr. Home
Shit is
Arcade
hot.
is out in these streets doing fucking deep fakes. That's great.
That shit is crazy. I'm telling
Okay,
you.
that's a video idea. I'm just gonna throw this out there. I don't know what character would do this. I don't know the context, but I think it would be awesome if drunk He-Man were watching TV and sees a deep fake of himself on the news and goes ape shit on the news channel or something.
I'd have to see how that could work.
It would
I
be
see
weird.
what you're saying.
Yeah. But in any case, but I'll leave you with that. Man, thank you so much for being on the channel here. Um, Obviously, folks, go to the channel, subscribe, and if you already are subscribed, go hit likes on every freaking video. Share it with your friends. Obviously, warn them about the language if they're sensitive to that sort of thing, and but have a great time doing it. Folks at home, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. But that's going to be it for Toy Grinds Live this week, and I really appreciate each and every one of you.
See y'all later.